Everyone's obsessed with video. UGC, VSLs, whitelist ads, yappers, and yes, all of that matters. But the brands quietly printing money on Meta right now haven't abandoned statics. They've just figured out how to make them properly. Before we get into the examples, I want to make something clear about how I think about statics strategically. Since the Andromeda update, Meta's targeting is creative-led. The algorithm looks at who responds to your creative and finds more people like them. OBVI is the best example of a brand running statics at a consistently high level. I want to go through several of theirs because each one is doing something different. This one looks like a personal message on your phone, like in a Notes app format. It drops the viewer's sales guard immediately because it doesn't look like an ad. The pain point, which is late night cravings, blood sugar spikes at 9 p.m., is hyper-specific. It's not unhealthy snacking, it's 9 p.m. That specificity is what makes the right person stop scrolling and think, that's me. This one uses a real Facebook comment as the ad copy. I find this method genius as it mirrors the exact environment that the viewer is in, which is social media. So it feels peer recommended rather than brand pushed. This one creates a concrete roadmap that makes the transformation feel achievable rather than miraculous. People read all the way to the bottom. For a static, that's remarkable. The reason it works is that it manages expectations. It's not promising overnight results, it's promising a journey. And that's far more credible. Here you've got a direct competitor comparison, labeled arrows to each ingredient's benefit. It's clean, it's scannable, and it's impossible to misread. And this is the infographic format done right. It communicates complexity in seconds without feeling overwhelming. The pattern across all of OBVI statics is that they each speak to a different emotional avatar, a different emotional state, and a different objection. They're not running variations of the same ad. They're running a suite of ads that collectively cover the entire customer journey. Now on to AG1. They do something with their statics that I think is genuinely brilliant and massively underused. With their avatar statics, you've got a male runner, a female runner, a science teacher, firefighter. Each one is essentially the same product, the same offer, but shown to a completely different person. And here's what this does on Meta. When a science teacher sees a static featuring a science teacher and pauses, Meta notes that. Over time, it starts showing that creative to more people who behave like the science teachers. When female runners respond to the female runner static, Meta finds more female runners. You're not just running ads, but you're actually training the algorithm to find your best customers, one avatar at a time. And you can scale this infinitely. Every new profession, every new demographic, every new use case is a new audience that Meta can go and find for you. Most brands only run one static, but AG1 runs dozens, and that's the gap. Happy Mammoth statics work well because they diagnose before they sell. This symptom grid names things that the viewer feels but hasn't connected. Brain fog, bloating, hair thinning, low energy, irregular periods. That's not marketing, but a doctor listing your symptoms back to you. And when a brand does that before they've mentioned their product, the trust is already built by the time they ask for the sale. These are not flaws, this is high cortisol. This one takes physical symptoms that the viewer might feel shame about and reframes them as a solvable hormonal problem. Now that shift from shame to solution is incredibly powerful. And then 2.8 million women agree it works. The social proof closes it. So the lesson from Happy Mammoth is that if your product solves a problem that your customer didn't know how to name it for them in the ad. And that can be your hook. It can be your education, it can be your differentiation, all in one. Next, we've got Norse Organics. It's a simple concept executed perfectly. Their stacked product lineup with labeled arrows pointing to each benefit kills bacteria, reduces redness, heals scar tissue, prevents outbreaks, and then clear skin or money back at the bottom. It's an infomercial in one frame. So every likely objection from someone with acne is addressed before they've clicked anything. And the guarantee removes the remaining purchase risk. It's a complete sales argument in one image. The thing most brands get wrong with product photography in statics is they show the product without explaining it. Norse Organics shows the product and explains exactly what each part does. That's the difference between a photo and a selling tool. Here we've got an animated avatar, we've got a vulnerable first-person testimonial, before and after numbers, £204 to £171. My doctor couldn't believe it. This animation earns its keep because it makes a vulnerable testimonial feel safe and approachable. A real person saying this might feel too raw, whereas an animated character saying it feels relatable without being uncomfortable. And the specificity and the exact weights, the doctor's reaction, gives it extraordinary credibility for something that's clearly illustrated. Now this Water 2 static is one I keep coming back to because it's so simple. It's a basic filter jug on the left and Water 2 system on the right, with an arrow between them and a Trustpilot rating as well for social proof. Only one line of copy. And the side-by-side comparison is one of the oldest formats in advertising. It still works because it removes cognitive load. You don't have to explain why your product is better, you show it. And the viewer's brain does the rest. If you have a product that's a clear upgrade on something people already use, then this format should be in your ad account. So, to wrap it up, what do all these statics have in common? What separates a static that converts from one that gets ignored? It's three things. First, they use the whole screen, so no wasted space, no giant empty areas, every pixel is doing its job. This sounds basic, but look at most brand statics and you'll see half the screen doing nothing. Secondly, they speak to one specific person in one specific emotional state. not people who want to be healthier. A 52-year-old woman who's been told her symptoms are just menopause, or a science teacher who wants more energy, or a guy who's tried every diet on the whiteboard. The more specific the avatar, the more powerfully the right person responds. Third, they answer an objection before it's asked. Price credibility, results risk. The best addicts preempt whatever reason someone might have not to clear. Reviews, guarantees, before and afters, comparison tables. Get the objection on the screen before the viewer's brain can raise it. If you apply these 3 things to your next static test, you'll immediately be ahead of most of the brands in your space. And if you want us to audit what you're currently running and show you exactly what's missing, there's a link below. It's completely free, no obligation. We just want to show you what we're capable of. So I hope to see you on one of those calls and hope you enjoyed the video.